Psychosis induced by the herb. Yeah, it happens a lot more than people want to admit. And it drives me pretty crazy how many activists say, oh, there's no link or that doesn't happen. You need to get out more and you need to read the scientific literature more, especially for adolescents. I run that big newsletter. It is the most in depth science newsletter on this topic in existence. And every week, I see links about the earlier an adolescent starts with this herb, the more likely they are to have schizophrenia later in their life. Is it a huge link? No. Is it bigger than alcohol even? No. But it certainly exists. And also, it can be the THC itself doing it, or it can be bringing out a latent schizophrenia that's there. But THC can cause psychosis. It is a psychedelic of immense power, especially when you're eating edibles, because edibles are processed by your liver from delta 9 THC into delta 11 THC, which is 5 to 7 times stronger. And so the thing is, people might have an incredibly bad psychedelic trip from eating edibles, and that might be the traumatic experience that pushes them into their first psychotic episode, just like a car accident can, or a death of a family member, or some other traumatic event. And so it could be someone who has a family tendency towards schizophrenia, and it would never have come out if the trauma of a terrible, terrible night at a concert on too many weed edibles doesn't cause a awful experience. And so that is absolutely happening out there, and it seems to be very much mediated by the dopamine pathways. And if you're paying attention to this stuff, the cannabinoids very much interact with dopamine. And so for treatments, CBD is actually definitely worth considering, though you have to take a lot of it. For all of the data on that, check out the site that I curate, cvresearch.info. That's for the biggest CBD company that I work for, and I keep the site going for them. And when people are using CBD for psychosis, they're using hundreds of milligrams, which is pretty safe as far as things go. I mean, you risk some gastrointestinal issues, maybe some loose stools. But overall, they're giving CBD at thousands of milligrams a day to kids with epilepsy, and mostly they just are sleepy or maybe have some diarrhea. And so while THC can exacerbate schizophrenia, it can also help sometimes at low levels. But CBD seems to be the thing that can help the most. And so if you have schizophrenia in your close family, you should be careful when using psychedelics or high levels of cannabis. I'm not saying you should not, but you should be aware of these links. So feel free to ask follow-up questions or email me at lex@whitewildcreation.